Hi, I'm Edward Hooper, the Public Relations Officer here with the Jackson County School System, and I'm here today with Officer Matt Kelly of the Georgia Department of Public Safety, as this week the Jackson County School System is celebrating School Bus Driver and School Bus Monitor Appreciation Week, and it's also School Bus Safety Week. And Officer Kelly is out here today to talk about school bus safety and some of the laws that are in effect to keep our students safe as they unload and load buses during the day. Officer Kelly, I want to start with two-lane roads. The laws here, we have a lot of two-lane roads here in Jackson County. What is the law when a bus is stopping at making one of its stops on a two-lane road?
Mr. Hooper, the state of Georgia has crafted a real robust legislation law. It's Official Code of Georgia 40-6-163, and that pertains to the illegal overtaking of a stopped school bus while loading or unloading passengers. This law that was crafted and revised in 2018 is in sync with all of the other states in this union, including District of Columbia. So there should be no confusion out there about a discrepancy or anomaly of why, people could have exemption status of passing a legally stopped, prioritized school bus out there. The first and foremost that's paramount to Mr. Hooper, myself, this community, and the state that we serve is the potential, the dire potential for a student to be seriously injured or, God forbid, killed due to the negligence of other motorist out there. That would be the number one. The number two consequence violating the 40-6-163 law, and this is an inconvenient one, but it's meant to grab the motorist's attention, is on their license they will be assessed 6 points upon conviction. Bear in mind that a driver in the state of Georgia can accumulate up to 15 points within any 2-year period before they're automatically suspended for accumulation of violations. That's a real good and effective way to address this type of thing is load them up on suspension points, working toward the accumulations. The third degree that would impact a violator, alleged violator of this, would be the monetary cost. On average, the court systems will assess about an $850 fine. Again, that's meant to grab the motorist's attention and discourage this type of illegal activity there.
And obviously our goal here today is to educate our community about the laws in effect and the consequences, but also to raise awareness of our safety of our children.
Yes,
and
sir.
The number one thing we can tell people when you're following a school bus is put the cell phone down, take the distractions away, and really pay attention, because school buses obviously make so many stops to load and unload children, and to watch for those lights, the yellow lights warning you that the school bus is about to stop.
Absolutely. The current U.S. Department of Transportation Secretary has recently addressed this distracted problem. We as a whole are facing a crisis about distracted driving. The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, NHTSA, compiled data. In 2021, we had a 16-year high water mark for fatality-related deaths, including school bus. I mean, that's all part of this whole discussion. That was crazy to have that high water mark. It had been since 2005 we hit those same stats. We've got to get a downward trend behind that wheel. The driver needs to remember the mindset or the concept. I'm going to give the acronym, but it's WIN. They need to remember what is important now when they're driving behind that wheel.
I want to get back to some of the other laws that are in effect here, so to clear up any confusion that might have. We obviously, as Jackson County continues to grow, we're seeing more implementation of 4-lane highways here in the county. So there are different times when you do have to stop and you do not have to stop on a 4-lane highway. So go ahead and tell us when you do not have to stop on a 4-lane highway when a bus is stopping.
I will get into that. I just want to make sure that the viewers, readers, listeners understand that Georgia has adopted this standardized law. It's in line with every other state in our precious union. The only time traffic in an opposing lane can slow down and proceed with caution if there's a physical barrier, a physical divider. That would be a concrete block wall, a grass median. It would be a wire barricade line. That's the only time that the oncoming traffic motorists need to observe those traffic control features on this bus being displayed. That's when they need to slow down and proceed with caution. All other traffic in the oncoming lanes, in just regular 2 lanes or lanes without a physical divider, have to stop. All traffic following behind a school bus always has to stop.
Absolutely.
No exceptions.
So I want to give you an example here. We're talking about a 4-lane highway with a natural barrier. If you go to Highway 129 that goes from I-85 all the way to Athens, that would be one of those barriers that you do not have to stop if you're going the
Great
opposite
example.
direction. If you're on a 4-lane road that has a middle lane there but does not have a natural barrier, that would be one of those roads that you need to stop when the school bus is on. Obviously, school buses, when they're preparing to stop, have those yellow lights to notify you that a stop is preparing. Don't try to beat it. Take a second, let the bus load or unload its students, and then proceed upon your way.
Mr. Hooper stressed on it, but that bus, sometimes they do implement good safety best management practices, and a lot of times you may see them in the center turn lane or that side turn lane. And legally, they're still part of the roadway. All traffic has to stop.
And I also like to note, keep in mind as you cross over railroad tracks, our school buses stop at all railroad tracks as well. So if you are following a school bus and you know you're approaching a railroad crossing, please remember that school bus is going to stop. So go ahead and give yourself plenty of distance to stop, as that bus is going to make sure that no train is coming down the tracks.
Yes, sir. With that practice for a railroad grade crossing, the school bus will come up to 15 feet up to the stop line, the white painted bar strip, and they'll open their service door, they'll look both ways, they'll have their hazard lights on, and they're just taking very deliberate safety preventive measures in place because they understand the precious commodity they're hauling, they understand the potential for liability assumptions if they neglect that, and all passenger carrying vehicles in the state of Georgia do have to stop. There's some exceptions, but not for a school bus.
Mr. Kelly, we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us and informing our Jackson County community. The partnership between our public safety and our school systems is so critical to keep our most prized commodity, our students, safe on a daily basis. And for all those watching, what's a website they can go to read these laws and get more informed on it as well?
The Georgia Department of Education is a real good resource for information. The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration is another great opportunity out there. And the third one would be the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
And if you're watching this video on YouTube, we will put the links below on our YouTube video as well, so you can click those links and go to those websites as well. Mr. Kelly, thank you very much. We appreciate your service. And for all of those bus drivers here in Jackson County, our monitors, we want to say thank you for keeping our students safe on a daily basis. We could not have a school system without you. And for all of our community members, slow down, take the extra couple minutes, and learn the laws to keep our students safe.